I've never been this excited about anything for a very long time. And when you really wrap your mind around what's going on here and what Robert has put together for us, it is very, very exciting. Very exciting. Again, welcome to the new people that are joining with us. Sahid just joined, Roxy, um, people from all over the country join us. Steve. So we're going to keep everybody muted just to keep the platform quiet here. Appreciate Kristen putting this together and running our live stream. Again, we'll be getting started here in about 1 minute. So, okay. Okay. Very close to the top of the hour here. So people joining here from, now we got Jamaica. All right, folks, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome to our NFT Rewards corporate update. This is Monday evening, and we have literally people from all over the world joining us. And we have with us our founder and CEO, Robert Craddock. Robert, it's just a pleasure to have you and listen to you each and every week. You know, so much going on in the world, banking crisis, et cetera. I was reading an article recently here, and it's talking about all the layoffs that are happening and going to be happening. Meta laid off 11,000 employees last November, and they're talking about cutting an additional 10,000 people here by the end of May. And it just, the list goes on and on. We have so many companies and industries, high tech, getting rid of thousands of employees. We have Facebook and Instagram announced it would lay off 10,000 of its employees. Amazon, 9,000 employees. Accenture, an IT company, laying off 19,000 employees. Dell Computer, 6,650 employees just going away. Spotify, 600 employees. Google parent company Alphabet, 12,000 of its workers. Microsoft, 10,000 being let go. Twitter laid off half of its staff shortly after Elon Musk took over. They're talking about, he gave them an ultimatum to commit to a new hardcore Twitter or take a severance, and more than 1,200 employees opted for the latter. And it's not just affecting companies, it's affecting banking. Stanley Morgan will eliminate 3,000 jobs, and the list just goes on. So the question is, folks, where are these people going to go? How are they going to provide for their families? If you're depending upon the system to put food on the table, it's a little bit scary. Anything can happen. And I think it is, we are so fortunate to be at a place where we can very quickly earn the kind of money, more money probably than when most of you have ever earned in your lifetimes. And you don't have to worry about, what's going on out there. And the beauty of it is we're actually moving people into an alternative currency where there's definitely, in my mind, a lot more safety there with when we see what's going on with the banking crashes and all of that. The day might come, you wake up and you go in to take some money out of your bank or use your debit card or whatever, and hey, nothing happens. It's all gone. So I, for one, greatly appreciate what Robert has put together here. And I just want you to know, folks, what it's like to run a company like this, to do a startup. I've been there, done that. And not only that, before I started my own companies, I was a consultant to the industry, and I saw what many companies went through. I experienced it. So, I I wouldn't really want this to be put upon anybody. And Robert has stepped up to the plate and done something that so few people have, are willing to do. But not only that, Robert is a visionary. He has seen something and put something together here that is so absolutely amazing that it's literally going to rock the world. I think in the next 12 months, we're going to see some amazing things happen. We're going to see people literally earning more money probably in a year's time than they've earned in a lifetime. So again, I'm very excited to be here. Again, thank you, Robert, and I'll turn it over to you.
Hey, thank you very much, John. And let me try to go ahead and get our video up here and everything so everybody can see me. So anyway, first, John, I want to say thank you for coming on and helping us and everything. And I want to say thank you to Christian. I really want to say thank you for all the support people back there, because, we're there. We have been working on this forever, and it just feels like forever. Even though it's just been a few months, it feels like forever. And we're right there. I mean, we literally are right there. In fact, I want to kind of throw out a few disclaimers right now. If you're here and you're not serious about making money, you shouldn't be here. You absolutely should not be here, because right now we have something that is just going to be phenomenal. I have talked to a lot of people, and the biggest thing right now, and I want to go in and kind of explain the program, but the biggest thing right now, guys, is that what you're not realizing is that we have an opportunity here to absolutely change a lot of people's lives. And I do mean change a lot of people's lives. What I mean by that is that we're creating something that I don't believe anybody has ever done. We're creating a program that is going to allow you to make money every day. It's going to go directly into a wallet that you control every day. And it's going to provide you a 2x21 matrix that's going to allow you, if you had a full matrix, $20,000 a day, not including all the other bonuses that are associated with it. And a lot of people have asked me, they said, how can you do this? And I've actually taken a long time explaining all the intricate parts of it. And once I do that, they get it, understand it. So before we go any further, I want to kind of get a few housekeeping things out of the way. Our development team, we've been working with very closely, and it appears that they have pushed some of the final updates up there. So if you were concerned about purchasing bids and not showing up, that should be solved. If there is commissions that weren't there, you should have a claim button. If it wasn't earlier, it is tonight. It'll be there. You can go ahead and get that. If you were trying to get the KYC done, I think we've solved all those issues right now. I want to say that Irwin with the wallet system has been working really diligently on this. The other thing too, I want to let you know, is that it looks like our email system is finally working. So we're going to probably start transitioning off this Telegram channel and being able to get information to everybody by way of email. I think that's a great thing. Because, Telegram, as good as it is, it has many challenges, many problems as well, with people in there trying to, provide information, false information, cross recruiting, you name it. No matter how hard you work, you're always going to have bad actors involved in it. And you guys are here for a specific reason. That is to make some money. That is to build a retirement. That is to make your future be what you want it to be. And that's what we're very, very focused on. So anyway, kind of let me dig into this for a moment here. We started a program here on the share program. We started the pre-bids. And as I go through this, I'm going to explain some of the changes that are happening right now so that everybody understands it correctly. So let me see if I can get this system to start working for me here. Got it on green and it should go. And I apologize. Let me get over here and make sure I click on it here and boom, there we go. So anyway, guys, NFT rewards. I'm sure everybody knows what this is. I actually had someone ask me the other day, they said, NFT rewards, what are we selling? And I'm like, going, really? We're purchasing, trading, selling, auctioning off NFTs, non-fungible tokens. And about that time, the person came back and they said, okay, I feel really stupid, of course, you know, and that's okay. A year ago, I would have said the same thing. I truly would have. But nevertheless, it brought up an interesting point to me that we are of the age group that this is something that we're just not completely familiar with. And as crazy as that sounds, we're of an age group that is extremely valuable. And I want to keep forcing that to you and enforcing that. We are extremely valuable. We represent a demographic that would never, ever get involved in this, would never, ever get involved in a metaverse. There's just, and this income potential in this industry is crazy huge. And why would you want to leave it for the kids that are like 20, 25, 30 to capture all this money and watch them running around in Lamborghinis and Range Rovers and everything else? And meanwhile, you're sitting there clipping coupons, trying to figure out what you're going to buy food. This is an opportunity for you. This is a way to take what's happened in this economy right here and across the world and change your life. Now, can we do this for everybody? No. You know the old saying, guys, we can't save every puppy in the pound, and we can't. This is going to be for the people that recognize the opportunity, grasp it, and run with it, plain and simple. And have we had a few missteps coming out of the gate? Absolutely. Is there a lot of people out there that are saying, you know, can we fix this? Can we fix that? I think we have a lot of solutions, and I'm talking about people that came in early on that are kind of sitting over on one side that haven't seen all the growth that John has seen. In fact, guys, I want to explain something to you. When I talked to John, it's just been a few months ago, and I explained everything to him. And I want you to understand, I had never met John before now. And I have developed such a respect for John that you cannot even imagine. You know, even though we have never met face to face, I feel like this is somebody that I am friends for life with, because he is so sincere that he understands and grasps, and he has this desire, as do I, to want to do something right for a lot of people. Because we've seen a lot of things happen. We've seen a lot of things in this industry that we feel this is an opportunity to right a wrong. And I'm talking to you guys right now. I'm talking to you very sincerely. I want you to understand, I mean everything I'm saying. So in talking to John, I explained everything, what we're going to do, and how we're going to do it, and what our exit strategy is. And don't take that wrong. Exit strategy means that we're moving this into a metaverse. And that means that we're providing a level of protection that you've never before, meaning that we're not going to have people fearful that a government entity is going to come in and grab something, fearful that your identity is going to go out there and you're going to have some kind of bill collector coming at you, as in another program, or fearful that you're going to do all this work and you're not going to receive the money. Because that's why we want everybody to get paid every day, every minute of the day. And this is evolving into what we call a smart contract. So after I explained all this to John at great lengths, the first thing he said was, I'm in. I'm totally in. And I got to tell you something. There's been a lot of people, and I admire John's character, a lot of people that have approached John saying, hey, John, you did some phenomenal things bringing people into NFT rewards. Come work with us. And you know what he said? Why would I leave that? Why would I do that when we have the best thing here I've ever seen? So, you know, I've got to tell you right now, John's character just means everything to me. But nevertheless, that being said, when I mentioned this to John, you know what he did? He made a few phone calls. He sent out a few emails. And the next day, I looked at it. And to my surprise, I'm going, there's over 1,000 people that have signed up under John. Now, I don't mean directly. He at that time, he probably had maybe 50 or 60, but that was those people getting other people. And you only dream of that success. And I asked John, I said, how did you do this? He says, well, I just told a few people that I thought it was a really good thing. Very simple. And the next day, He blew those numbers away. He did more. And it's been like that ever since. It's been just crazy. And so I'll tell you right now, I have never, ever met anybody with the character and the ability and the drive that John has. So that being said, I am so grateful that we have John here. So anyway, after that being said, let me kind of keep going forward. So we're here with NFT Rewards. This is something that is going to be the most unique penny auction I think anyone has ever seen. We're actually taking an MLM platform and we're using it to build up this huge opportunity. Now, I want you to understand, we didn't create a penny auction to make a lot of money. We created a penny auction to build up this opportunity. And I'm going to explain as we keep going here, okay? So I'm going to talk a little bit about the profit pool. I'm going to talk about the numbers, the statistics, the fast start bonus, and everything else. And then as I get in there, I want you to understand that there's a few things that has to change for the better for everybody, because again, like I said at the beginning, you're here to make money. End of story, period. That's why you're here. And we're going to make sure it's our job, make sure you make money and lots of it. Okay. So real quickly about NFT Rewards. We are trading, selling, moving NFTs on this platform. Guys, it took me months to wrap my head around an NFT and what it was and what the value was. And if you'll just think of this one simple concept, an NFT is nothing more than income producing digital real estate. Now let's talk about that a minute. Real estate income producing means that you own it, you have a renter, you're getting monthly revenue. An NFT is something you own, it's traded out there regularly, you're getting income and revenue, not every month, but sometimes several times a day, because what they have in there is called a smart contract. And that smart contract basically gives a set of instructions that whenever a transaction has happened with that, it means that this is how it's happened, and it's got your wallet address in there, and it's putting that money right into your wallet. Now, folks, I have met several kids. And when I say kids, as you can tell, I'm no spring chicken. I've got a few years on me. But when I say kids, I'm talking kids that are almost my grandkids' age that are millionaires right now, literally millionaires. They're driving their own Range Rovers, they're flying different places. But the most unique thing that I have noticed, and I have not seen this change yet, is that every one of those kids that are very focused on their financial future, what they're doing, and this blew me away. I don't see any piercings. I don't see any tattoos. They're all they're like business kids, literally. And I went into this thought I was going to see a bunch of kids with tattoos and baggy shorts and eating a Hot Pocket and staying up all night. And that was not the case. These kids are very, very focused on their financial future. And I was just dumbfounded. And I was just pleased and excited to align myself and meet with them. And I'm talking kids like Charlie Rankoff and Tyler Mercer and I just keep kind of going on. Vanderpump, right? His first name, Sam Vanderpump, which y'all probably heard and seen his aunt on TV with Vanderpump Rules. These are people that are involved with us right now. These are people that are opening doors for us right now. These people are key to our success. And again, I give all the credit to them. I'm putting it together. I've used some of the financial resources that I've had to put this together, and I am extremely grateful in them. So let me kind of keep going further here a second, okay? So when we talked about the smart contract, this is really nothing more than a set of instructions that's laid on a blockchain. So a blockchain, as I'm sure you guys heard, this is kind of like an unbreakable thing that when you put it in there, everything creates a link and a chain. So you can't go in there and change something. And why is that important? Because if you have a smart contract and you are receiving monies, or in this case with NFT Rewards, you have a commission layout that's laid out in this commission structure that can't be changed. It brings down the whole program if somebody was to make a change on that. And that's got to give people a lot of confidence and a lot of security and feeling that, hey, wait a minute, I could put my time and effort in this and I can make some serious money. And that's why we want you to do this. I can't tell you how many times I've told people, I said, we really did this for a small group of people, and it's turned out to be something that, as we talk to the people out there, meaning you guys that are on this call right now, we hear story after story after story of what's happened in their life. And, your heart kind of goes out for them. And you realize that this is the piece of the puzzle that could change their life for the better, literally change their life for the better. And I got to tell you right now, it gives me, and I think it gives a lot of people that I'm working with, a satisfaction that you really can't match with putting dollars in your pocket, knowing that you're helping a lot of people, feeling like you're paying something for it. We really think we have built the best mousetrap ever. Lack of a better word. I think it's something that you can literally make a lot of money in, but we have to make sure we put the guide rules up there to make sure it all works the correct way. And that's what we're working on right now. Okay. So now let's talk about the market. Let's talk about the demand. If you Google anything out there and you find out where are NFTs at, you're going to find out they're in the toilet. The value of those NFTs are down. We still see those stories where it might be Bored Ape Yacht Club and a few other things that just sold for like $200 million or $300 million. And if you're trying to wrap your head around it, you're going, why in the world would anybody pay that for an ape all dressed up in different colors, a graphical image? And I got to admit, they do look kind of cool. But why would anybody pay that? Where's the return? It's not like it's a Picasso or some fine artwork with somebody that died like 100 years ago. It's not that at all. But what it is that it's a collection. There might be 1,000 different variations of that Bored Ape Yacht Club. And what's happened is that it's gotten a lot of popularity on these sites where it's traded, like OpenSea and a few others. And so remember I said income producing real estate? Well, that's kind of what it is. These things are traded multiple times a day for $10, $20, $30, $50, whatever it is. And the owner of that, the person that started the whole thing, gets 10% of every transaction off of every one of those. That means that that particular collection could be producing upwards of thousands of dollars every day. And it took me a while to really scratch my head on that and think about it. And I was talking with one of our partners, Charlie, and I said, Charlie, you seem to be doing very well. You're building resorts over the Bahamas and Virgin Islands with these NFTs. Tell me, how are you doing it? And after he explained it to me, I said, so you're making like $20,000 or $30,000 a day with your collection of NFTs you have there. And he literally laughed. And he said, no, way more than that, guys. He said, way more. He says, it takes way more money than that to fund the development of these resorts and everything, which he now has timeshare resorts looking to him to do stuff and everything else. But it's that collection of NFTs. But what I recognized is that I said, so now these things are going in the toilet. And I said, your income is starting to go down. I said, unless you have really something that pops, you're not going to see that much play on your NFTs. I said, what is driving the people to that platform to buy or those NFTs to retrade it and everything like that? And he said, well, it's the support in the community. We're supporting the community. I said, no. What is driving it? And he couldn't really answer it. And I asked him a really key question. I said, have you ever heard of a penny auction, or have you ever heard of a revenue generating platform? Anything like that at all? And of course, he's very young. And he said, no. And I said, so when they're bidding on this, is there any money spent except for the money that is paid at the end of the auction? And he goes, no. And I knew right there. I said, I think I have the whole piece of the puzzle, literally. So what we can do is, because we've amassed almost 20,000 people, and we think we're going to be within the next 10 to 15 days, 40,000 strong, and then probably heading towards our 200,000 strong somewhere in August, and maybe greater than that. And later on in this, I want to explain why we're going to get there. I'm realizing that we can deliver enough NFTs with the people and the bids we know happen, that we can actually set where the potential value will be of each NFT at the winning auction. This is something that no other platform can do. This is something that these young kids, as smart as they are, hadn't thought of this. We have. And so this is something we can do that generates money in your pocket, quite frankly. We want those values to go up. And why? Because there's going to come a time here, not too long, that we're going to allow you that are now listening to be able to put your own NFTs up here going through our studio. And meaning that aside from all the income that you're going to be earning, that's going to be an additional income source that's going to be coming into you every minute of the day, because you're going to have a collection of NFTs that are going to be traded. This is the craziest thing ever. I've never seen a business model like this before, guys. So as we move forward, there's another revenue part of this. Remember, we talked about a 2x21 matrix? Well, a lot of you guys don't realize that a 2x21 matrix, when it's fully filled, and right now, the people we're talking to, the people that have been involved in other programs that are starting to come in, they're saying, whoa, wait a minute, I need to get in now. I need to get in quickly. And what's happening is, as that matrix starts to fill out, you have a potential of like 2 million people below you. And normally I would say, you're crazy. The program will never last to the point you have 2 million people. And kind of come back to the metaverse and how we're migrating it in there, because now you don't have that fear of some regulatory body coming in saying, sorry, we're going to pull the plug, and all the work you put into it is gone. That's not going to happen, because in the metaverse that's going to be domiciled in Dubai, that's a whole different animal. First thing, they don't know how to get in there. Secondly, they're like me. They would have to spend a good year and a half to try to wrap their head around it to understand what's going on. Meanwhile, you've got all this money flowing into your wallet. And then last, they're like going to go, well, how to do anything? I don't know how we control it. You come up with what I'm saying right now. Because you're in there right now, you've got a very, very unique, interesting time to build and build big. And monies like you're seeing on the screen right there are monies that you would get just from that one revenue source every day. That's an everyday number right there. If you had 100,000 people, which we're going to be there very shortly, think about it a minute. That's 1/4. That's like $5,000 or something like that. I mean, it's just phenomenal money that's coming in your wallet every day. I think I told somebody, I said, $10,000 gives you $100, or excuse me, 10,000 people gives you $100, which we've got those 20 right now. So there's some people right now that are looking at around $3,000 a month coming in because of the people below them, not talking about the 5s and 10s, not talking about the revenue pool, not talking about the NFTs or anything else. And I'm going to recap all this as we get going, okay? So we talked about a fast start bonus. This is coming up very quickly. Fast start bonus is in the first 30 days you sign up. Because we're in pre-launch, that 30 days is not kicked off. Once the auction starts, the 30 days starts. So what that means is that if you sign somebody up and we are launched, they have 30 days to buy a package, and they have 30 days to sign somebody up that buys a package. And why is that important? Because they will always get 10% off of any bid package that person below them and anybody they bring in purchases. So if they spend $10,000 on a bid package, they get $1,000. They spend $1,000, they get $100. So like that. Anybody that those people bring in, the second level, they get 5%. Same scenario. 10,000 means that they get 500. $1,000 means that they get $50. But when you start getting to the numbers that I think we have probably 20, 25 people right now that have brought in personally to them 60 or 70 or greater. I mean, don't get me started on John. This guy's through the roof. John is just going to make phenomenal money because he went to work and he started calling people. And there's other people, same thing. They went to work and they started calling people. This is what that fast start bonus is right there. Okay. So again, you have to get in, you got to personally sponsor one person, and you have to personally get them to do something right then. Just one person, really simple, but you get that fast start bonus forever. It can never be taken away. That is the way the system's coded. And when I talked about a smart contract, that is part of the smart contract that goes on forever and ever when it's in the metaverse. So now we talked about the statistics. I want to kind of talk about this a little bit and why this is so important. If you remember, I was talking about the age group, why we're so valuable. What you may not realize, and these statistics right now are probably about a year old, but there was a big push, and I think John even kind of alluded to it, that Facebook spent, I forgot how many billions, 20 or 30 billion dollars in trying to build out a metaverse. And they did. But what they got was they got a bunch of young kids that wanted to play games. They could not attract casinos. They could not attract timeshare places. They could not attract resorts. They could not attract houses of worship. They couldn't attract the things that were relevant to 13-year-olds, but they were relevant to you and I. And you and I would never, ever go and seek out to get in a metaverse unless we were in a revenue generated program like this, that we were earning money because we're getting close to retirement. And we want to make sure that the house is paid off, the cars are paid off, that we got extra money to travel, we got extra money to take care of anything. Maybe we didn't get the supplement plans correctly, like on our Medicare, and we got extra medical bills. I mean, you name it, it's out there. And this program allows that. So we come to the party with the investors that have spent these billions of dollars on these metaverse, B2B metaverse projects. And they're now going, how do we bring these other businesses in there to attract the demographics that we want? And they thought about it all wrong. You need to have a way to bring you and I in there first. And when they see that this group is right there, the rest will follow. Kind of like Field of Dreams, the rest will follow. They hadn't thought of it right. So I've had a conversation with 3 different groups now, and I've explained that to them. And it's almost like on the Zoom call, because we have the cameras going, you can see the light bulb going off. They go, I get it. I understand. How soon are you guys going to have this? And I said, we're working on it. You're not the only group we're talking to. When we get close to it, when we get about 200,000, we're going to be talking to you. Now, I keep saying 200,000, and I want you to understand why I'm saying that. This is a key number. We get to 200,000, and for you out there that have purchased and owned shares, whether you've gotten them through a promotion or you've gotten it because you paid for them, guess what? Those shares value right now is about $2.50 a share. If you take that 400 million, meaning 200,000 people on an average of $2,000 bid platform per month, comes up to about 400 million. Why is that number important? That number is important because to value a business, you're looking at 3 times annual. 3 times annual on that is right about 15 billion. 15 billion translates into about 375 a share. So that means that if you had 400 shares, you're looking at about $150,000. It's not a bad return. If you had 10,000 shares, which we have some people that do that right now, all you got to do is factor it out. They're in the millions. They're like pushing like $4 million. So I mean, it gets crazy. Numbers get crazy. But does that mean that the program's over? Absolutely not. That means that we have now transitioned into a metaverse, that we've been acquired, that everything is domiciled over there in Dubai, and all the hard work that you've done to build up this team, has been worth it, because guess what? It keeps going. And you keep making that money on all the different revenue streams that we talked about, plain and simple. So now, guys, I could show you all these really cool graphics, but really all this means right here is that there's about 2 million people in there, and people don't understand it's all cumulative the way that works out. Again, we talked about the 5s and 10s. You get 10% and 5% based on front level and bottom level. But on the revenue sources, again, I just want to keep hammering this into you because I know this is being recorded and it's being streamed. Revenue source 1 and 2 is the instant money you get from the sale of bid packages. And why is this important? Very simply, it's paid out to you every minute of the day. If you have a large team and they're around the world, as a lot of these people on here right now do, you're going to see your wallet keep building and building and building. And why is that important? Because that wallet is your money, and you decide when you want to take it out, where you want to take it out, whatever you want to do. It's your choice. And in the metaverse, it's the same situation. Okay. Revenue source 3. Again, we talked about the bid packages. You're going to be earning anywhere from 1.2 to 1.5. We have built some additional things in here that I haven't even covered that we feel very confident it's always going to be about 1.5 because the revenue is going to be there to pay that out on that bid package. And that's over a 90-day period, by the way. And we're getting the developers to build some things in there so that kind of shows color coded, whether it be green, yellow, red, knowing where it's at, knowing where you're earning. And this is also important too, because if you're taking in $10,000 commission and you have a $5,000 bid package, guess what? You're only going to be able to take in $5,000 one day and $5,000 next. You never lose your money like some programs. You don't lose it. It just delays in how it drops in there for you. That's all it is. But it does drop into your wallet. You also have the guys. I could just put this in the thing and just keep going. But let me go one more here real quick. What we did to really ramp up the money for you guys is and I want to kind of talk about this for a second, is we filed with the SEC. There has been some prior programs that did not file, and they got accused of selling unregistered securities. Even they weren't selling anything, they were calling the bids unregistered. And so we went ahead and filed under Rule 506C. 506C is something that came out under the Obama Jobs Act in 2012. 2013, it was ratified and it was adopted by the SEC. But it gave you some very unique ways to determine who's a qualified investor. It gave you some very unique ways on amounts you could do and numbers and everything else. And that's what gave birth to these crowdfunding sites that have just been like GoFundMe and everything else. Gave birth to it. Well, we were actually able to use all this and create a situation where in our revenue source 7, that we can actually sell you these shares. And when we go to acquisition, which will be this year, because we want to get this required, it's going to be that carrot that's hanging out there to get these folks to be able to put it in their metaverse, because we cannot be in the metaverse until this is acquired. This is the prize that they want. And to give them that prize without getting the shares bought out would be a mistake. It would be an absolute mistake. We couldn't have tried, because they have it there. They're bringing people in. They're bringing all these B2B businesses and everything else. And how are we getting compensated? Because we're the ones that bring them in. So we have to make sure that this is being done properly so that you guys get paid. Very important. Remember, we're very focused on you getting paid. Okay? And of course, when we do that, you're going to see some really neat situations right now. So I want to kind of do a little housekeeping here real quick. We've had some folks that have bought some shares, but they haven't followed through. And that's okay. I mean, things change and whatever. But we've been doing this stuff manually, and it's been very time consuming. We're getting ready to automate this whole thing. It means that you'll be able to log in your back end. You'll be able to choose what you want. It'll give you all the disclosures. We're going to tie in an API from DocuSign where it does all the stuff. And you'll have two choices. If you're getting 400 or 800 shares, it's going to have to come through the wallet system. It's just too much to try to do it the other way. If it's anything greater than that, then you can do a wire. And why did we give you that option? Because if you go through the wallet system, there's a 5% fee added on whatever it is you're spending. And that allows us to lay off the exposure for changing it in USD, getting it moved, wired into the account that needs to go into, everything else. So we're trying to save you money. So we're saying if you go for a wire thing, you have an option to go for a wire, which you can just go to your bank and do it. But here's what I want you to understand. The system is going to give because we can't have all this stuff just, bound up. I know you guys wouldn't do this, but there would be some people that would sit there and try to lock up thousands and thousands of shares. And then later on go, okay, now I'm going to go and pay for it because now I see everything's working great. And it's not fair on the folks that did it. And those monies are used to, help you on the profit pool and everything else. So if it hasn't been concluded in 7 days, it's going to void it. And it's going to put that memorandum number back in use right then. But what it's going to do, it's going to basically say, this person is no longer allowed to purchase any shares in the future. And we have to do that because we've had a series of people, in fact, if I can come back here, we've had a series of people, you see all these Bitcoin deposits right there? Well, those weren't real. That was somebody that was testing out the system and was creating all this busy time. When we finally get a hold of them, they go, oh, well, I was just checking it out. Well, that's great, but you don't understand that we're trying to work through any challenges right now. And you've got all our development people chasing their tail. And we've got other people going, hey, when's everything gonna be right? We're like going, we're trying to work through these problems. And meanwhile, we've got a few people in there innocently not realizing that what they're doing is creating additional challenges on that. So we've got to take care of that and fix it. And so, so we're just going to have to say, look, and there's going to be a disclaimer. It's not going to be a surprise or anything else, but here it is. This is what you got to do. And that's what it is. But there is a huge opportunity. If there was an honest issue, contact us, let us know, we'll work it out with you. But we can't have these people just putting stuff in and, trying to play with it. The other thing is that as we get going, we've had a lot of people that have been doing the pre-buy on bids in the beta test group. Well, starting here in a couple of days, everything's cleared up, everything's done. If you want to buy bids, you're more than welcome to do it. But I want to let everybody know that we've identified potential 1,000+ accounts out there that we think were just put in to say that sometime in the future, there's going to be all these people below them. And they've done nothing to activate them or whatever. And that particular spot would be unfair for someone because they would try to sell that spot off and say, hey, you can get in there and get started. Meanwhile, that spot will not allow them to do a fast start bonus because it has passed them because of the coding and everything. So essentially what we're fixing to do is say that at the launch of the auction, and we're going to give everybody plenty of notes, but at the launch of the auction, if you don't have at least a $100 bid package there, meaning all the other people have, then that account's probably on the second day is going to go into suspension, meaning that it's not really an account. It's not really somebody's going to do it because we have to turn these into real accounts. We thought about doing compression so that we tighten it up for everybody, but we have a concern that if we do that, that it might shift some lines and things like that. We don't want that to happen. So there will be people that will come in. You'll probably know people. You'll say, hey, is there any spots out there that within a certain line that we can do it? And we'll gladly help get them in there as long as they're willing to buy a package and get active and everything else. But we're going to probably have, I don't know, maybe 500 or 1,000 accounts that won't be active. We'll have to work through that. And we'll have a team of people that do that. So I want to let everybody know that as we get closer, if you don't have at least a $100 bid package, and a lot of you folks already do, because, the people that have tuned into this call is great, but we haven't had a working email system until today. So now that we do, we can actually start getting this information out to everybody. We can start explaining it. we can start weaning ourselves off this dependence of Telegram, because Telegram's been nice. It's gotten to this point, but it also has a lot of issues. It has a lot of people that go in there and try to spam and things like that. But guess what? I was down in Miami this weekend and I was meeting with Chow, the owner of Ola platform. And what y'all may not realize is he already has a really robust app for managing the wallet that you have right now. But guess what? He is now going to take his team of talented programmers and he's going to take that app and they're going to write everything here in a short amount of time to encompass everything within NFT rewards. So you're going to have an NFT rewards app that's on Apple, Google, and everything else. And you're going to be able to manage everything on your phone, which is great for some folks that are out of the country because that's all they have. But here's the best part. We can do a push message at no cost because we have to pay for every email going out, by the way, at no cost. And it goes directly to your phone. You don't have to worry about spam or anything else. It's on your phone and it's saying, hey, guess what? This is what's going on. Click right here and get this latest document that's been put out. And you know what? For people like John and others that have several people that they have brought in, this is an amazing tool because they'll be able to push out messages to everybody they have personally brought in. So if you brought in 10 people, you can push out messages to those 10 people. You can't push it out to anyone else because that could be considered like cross-recruiting and things like that. But you can push out to those people and it's instant. When you do it, it's like, it's there. And so we like that. And guess what? It's instant all around the world. So we think that's going to be a real game changer right there. We're just very, very excited. And I got to tell you right now, we have an amazing, amazing team of people right now with John and the team that he's brought in, Christian, everybody there. It's just amazing. Jim, you name it, they're just amazing. And we've had so many people step up to help us with the management of the Telegram site, which we're very, very grateful of and everything. But this is what we got right now. So guys, that being said, I'm not going to keep talking on tonight. We're going to be getting more and more people because our email system is up. So we're going to be inviting them in because a lot of people don't even know it's happening tonight. And even at that, we still have quite a few people on here. We are coming up with a event in Las Vegas here in the next few months, which we'd like to invite a lot of people out there. We want to have some recognition up there on stage for some of the folks that have really gone above and beyond and everything. We're going to be giving away some gifts and prizes and everything. And part of that PPN money is being used to fund all that. So we're going to have a great time. You're going to be able to meet some fantastic leaders all around the world because we're going to be inviting them in. And so we're looking forward to it. So, that being said, John, I'm going to turn it back over to you. Again, I hope you don't mind me kind of telling people how impressed I am with you. It's definitely something that I'm very pleased to have known you, and I consider you a friend. So thanks again, buddy.
Well, I appreciate those kind words, Robert, and likewise, I've come to greatly admire and appreciate you and all that you're doing. And I can't say enough. And the more we talk with each other and I listen to you and whatnot, I just get more excited about what we have here to share with the world. And it's really not, it's not about us and all the money that we're going to make. That's great to make money. What really it turns my crank is to help other people because, there's a lot of room at the top, but if you're the only one at the top, nobody to share it with, that's not a lot of fun either. So I think we're going to see the day come when a lot of us are going to be able to gather together and, maybe get on a cruise ship or something like that, or meet in Las Vegas or, some other place and just have some really great times and literally get to, shake hands and hug each other, meet face to face for the first time. And, those are very exciting times. Those are things you remember for the rest of your life. And I can just say, the majority of my friends are people that I've met through network marketing. And, I've just recently had conversations with some people for the first time, on the phone, and just really cemented, I think, lifelong relationships in just that few minutes because, of what we're doing together, and we have, the same goals and same aspirations. And I just, you know, what this is going to do for the people of the world is literally going to change so many lives. And I'm just grateful to be here and be able to work with you, Robert. So with that, folks, we're in a time where so many people are going to be looking for jobs. They're being let go from their jobs and whatnot, and we've got something here that we can share with them, a way for them to go out and make a lot of money without getting their hands dirty. And that's not that, doing manual jobs, there's anything wrong with that. We need those. But a lot of these people that are being let go, they're IT, and, they're people that white collar, blue collar workers, et cetera. So let's go out and share this opportunity with as many people as we can, because it's going to bless them. It's going to bless us. And with that, I just want to say good night to everybody. Thank you for being here, and God bless.